Hi there. So why did Trump win? It's very simple. The answer is extremely simple because of the hero's journey, because of the population, the US electorate's distribution on the hero's journey. So this is an evolutionary journey. I will explain it in a second. Before I do that, these are the MAGA types, the original Make America Great Again, the red hat types. And then there is Darth MAGA. Darth MAGA is like Elon Musk and co. These are the J.D. Vances and the Vivek Ramaswamis and the Peter Thiels of the world. And this is why it has been much easier this time than in 2016. In 2016, there was only red MAGA and the liberals, and the liberal elites. The liberals looked down on the MAGA people. They were the deplorables, in the words of Hillary Clinton, as she put it. And she was right, in a sense, to put it like this, because these people are ruled by their patterns, in a sense. This is our early adulthood. That's what I call the Titan stage of this. The map, the hero's journey map, I also call it the prodigal son's journey. That this is what I use, what can be found in the book, is on the evolution of the individual journey. I've been consulting people for close to 20 years, and I've seen several hundred stories, over a few thousand by now. And these are the evolutionary stages, how our identity develops. First, we are kids, and we copy everything, as all little monkeys do. We just copy to survive. This is how we get norms, patterns. That's how we socialize. This is basically the first third, these two stages. That's the world of the matrix, in a sense, where we are not even really aware. It's kind of an unconscious, like we are running on a program type of an operation of people. And a large percentage of the US population is in this stage. They are adults, but they are living their parents' lives, in a sense. They are living by norms enforced by society. Those are the people who were left behind. These are not the knowledge workers. These are the rural areas, the agricultural workers, the ones whose jobs has moved to China and they lost their living. So these are really the left behind people. And then there is an awakening, and this is the mindful crowd. This is the consciousness. This is when we realize that we were running a program and we decide that we can be rulers of our own destiny, in a sense. So this is the liberal world. These were the traditional conservatives, and these are the liberals. The traditional conservatives are mostly Christian, but they never have chosen their Christianity. It was through their upbringing that they just follow the norms that they have seen, and that's the traditional conservative party, and also the traditional conservative elites. And then there are the liberal types who are leaving behind the norms. They're choosing their own interests. They're choosing their own values. They basically just choosing their own desires. They follow their freedom is their utmost value above all else. People basically make gods out of themselves. That's why I also call this the prodigal son's journey. So the first third, we live in the norms, bound by the norms, in a sense, in the house of the father, if I use the terminology of the prodigal son. Then we rebel. We choose ourselves. We choose our intellect, our freedom, our intelligence. We decide that we find out the answers and the real truth in life. So that's the world of individuality, but it also is the world of chaos, and it's also a world of relationships suffering and families falling apart. There is no higher rule. There is no higher purpose. There is no higher meaning. It's just me. Obsession with myself and the freedom and the human life as the highest value. That's what the global liberal movement really is. And this is what resulted in the woke phenomena, which was actually somewhat of it's it's an overdrive of being liberal. Like if you are the source of the truth, then you do not have to be man or woman. You can be anything else. There can be as many identities and also as many gender roles as there are individuals. So that's the liberal crowd. And what I urge you to observe is that these new leaders of the MAGA movement, the ones I called, Elon Musk was making this joke about with a black hat, how he's a dark MAGA in a sense. And those people are the Vivek Ramaswamis and the J.D. Vances and the Jordan Petersons and the Ben Shapiros of the world. Ben Shapiro of Daily Wire fame. And they have moved on, really. So they were... Jordan Peterson was once a psychologist who was very liberal, as he is confessing about this in his early youth. He was very much influenced by liberalism. But then he suffered, then he did not find happiness, and also he has seen many stories similar to how I have seen many stories of people, and he came to a conclusion that there must be a higher purpose, there must be a greater order, and a person can only be happy if he or she is complying to this greater order, if he or she is in unity, a participant of the greater good. This we can call the Tao, the Buddha nature. My term, based on my upbringing and beliefs, is it really is God. So it's like this is finding our place in creation, finding meaning in life by finding our place in creation, finding truly happy relationship and marriage and companionship and workmanship and team by having a purpose, by having a meaning. And that's what Vivek Ramaswamy's message was, which was, I found very interesting. When he first entered, how he was talking about how we lost purpose. The Americans have lost purpose, and purpose was to connect to God, to be a valuable participant in God's plan. That was the original purpose, and that was what he was talking about in the original debates when he was first entering this scene, and also in long form podcast interviews. But people, this I call the post-liberal Christians in a sense. So these are the traditional Christians, these are liberals and sectarians, different sects. People mostly believe in intellect and science, and that's their God and themselves. So it's an adoration of our own ego in a sense. This was an adoration of not really God, but an adoration of the norm, an adoration of our parents who were transmitting the norm. So we adore our parents in a sense, then we choose ourselves as the source of all truth and goodness. So we make ourselves God. We kill God in a sense, as Nietzsche was talking about it. But then comes the return. Then comes the return of the prodigal son. Then comes rock bottom. Then comes the greatest suffering, where we just helped. We are just helped by something greater than us. That's how I can explain it. So this is the death of reason in a sense, the death of rationality being the best, the death of this belief that rationality would be the best way to navigate in our life and the best way to find happy life. So after this, we no longer want to decide, and we no longer think that we can make the right decisions. After this, we aim to and thrive to be useful, to find our place, to claim our place in life. So this is the way in to the dark forest of our soul, and also the deep lake of our desires. This is rock bottom when we find sword. The sword it's Arthur's swords, King Arthur's swords, but it's also the sword of God, the sword of being a participant, the sword of truth, the sword of true speech, the sword of being a real person who is transparently showing him or herself with imperfections, because we are all obviously imperfect. So this is giving up all the roles. And then this is the fight and the evolutionary journey. So it's not rock bottom and then I know my meaning and I know my cause. No, rock bottom is just a direction, and then we have to fight. We have to return. The prodigal son realizes the right direction, but then he has to return to his father's house. And this is where we are returned and accepted. This is when we are accepted, and when we find our real place and our the verify that we're supposed to do in life. That's sorry for my English. I'm usually talking about this in my native tongue, and I'm waiting for YouTube to translate the several hundred videos with the AI into English, but I can't just sit around and wait. So that's why I started making videos in English. But my wording is really poor and my pronunciation. So please excuse me. Hope you do. Happy if you're still around. Anyhow, the Trump voters, originally the MAGA movement was the left behind people, and he galvanized them, and there were enough of them. And he also overpowered the Republican Party's elite, because some of the elites were liberal thinking, libertarian people. So then he lost to Biden, who was a perfect avatar of the liberals. So Biden actually helped us move back to the Obama and Clinton era, which was the rule of the liberals. It really was the rule of the liberals. The Bushes were the rule of the traditional people, and these were the rule of the liberals. With Biden, who was a much better candidate than Kamala Harris, because Biden came from Pennsylvania, a blue-collar background and upbringing, and he could talk to the average people. So he could attract some voters even from here. But now, all the people who are left behind, in a sense, who believe in traditions, are choosing Trump. Hispanics are choosing Trump, black people and black men, Hispanic and black, all sorts of men. So this is not manly. Doug Emhoff is not manly. Kamala Harris, a female goddess, a man cannot relate to that. I should make a long explanation how gender roles are differing in these stages. But in this middle stage, men are feminine, and females, I mean women, are very powerful. They are like goddesses or queens of their lives. So it's a switch of roles for the liberals. That's why all traditional societies and minorities who have stronger societal norms, which are traditional, they're all Trump voters. Obviously, they cannot choose this. They cannot go with Kamala. And then what gave an easy victory for Trump this time is that there are more and more leaders and thought leaders and thinkers, and also more and more money is moving on to the post-liberal stage, which is a post-liberal Christian stage, like J.D. Vance, who just became baptized a couple of years ago. They did not necessarily discover a religion, because religion is here. Religion and the mediation of a priest is here. That's not very developed. Here it's a personal relationship with the greater. It's a personal relationship with God. And that's what they discovered. They discovered that there is a greater force, will, power than they are, and they have to be in accordance with that. They have to be they have to serve the greater will. They have to find their place in creation, in a sense. And J.D. Vance and Ramaswamy was a very good example for this. Also Jordan Peterson. And observe how Jordan Peterson is not talking about religion. He's not choosing a religion. It's not the word of religions. Religions are pretty much left behind. Religions are not really, at least in Europe, they're definitely not serving average people there. Religions are leaning back on dogmas, which are enforced norms, in a sense. And there are very rarely are religious affiliations or priests who are who are really well developed and advanced in their thinking. There are some, like Bishop Barron is an example for that. The Daily Wire crew is collecting all these people pretty effectively, by the way. So those people are here. And these people, the Elon Musks of the world and the J.D. Vances, Trump himself is not across yet, but he's just an avatar anyhow, and he's mostly an avatar for this stage. Biden was an avatar for this stage, and Kamala was a fallen avatar for this stage. Obama was the perfect avatar for this stage, and Clinton before him. They were the perfect liberal avatars, and that's why they were very, very successful and elected and re-elected. And Trump lost to Biden again because Biden was a great avatar for this stage. But now Elon Musk won. It really is my belief that Elon Musk, Jordan Peterson, Joe Rogan, these kind of people have decided this election. And they have a strange attraction to liberals. That really is the point. They may not be voting for Trump because of Elon Musk or Joe Rogan, but they have a strong enough impact on liberal people to make them unsure regarding their choices. And maybe they do not vote for Trump, but then they do not go to vote. So they could not vote to Kamala. So many Democrats just stayed at home eventually. And that's how he won the popular vote. So Elon Musk had a pivotal role in this. And Joe Rogan and the Joe Rogan endorsement, because this is about being credible as a person. This whole second stage is about being transparently imperfect, and that's what the Joe Rogan podcast is about. He really is an avatar of this new age, and it's not a coincidence that Elon Musk is his favorite guest probably, or the one person who he looks up to the most. And then Elon Musk is obviously influenced by others like, I don't know, maybe Sachs and the All In podcast team, and maybe secretly he's watching Jordan Peterson's video. I really don't know. I do not care. It's just what I would like to enlighten is that there is this small team of elites who are the black hat mega people, the dark mega or Darth mega people, and this was a coalition of red MAGA and black MAGA, and that's how they swept the floor with Kamala Harris and the liberals. And also, the good news in my estimation is that there is no going back. So liberals will have to change and move on, and the future really is a rediscovery of the God we thought we killed. It's my estimation. That's what I've seen in several thousand life stories, and that's what the individual life stories can be obviously applied to communities. This is what this hero's journey is, or as I like to call it, the prodigal son's journey. So this is my explanation. Thank you for suffering my English. I should be practicing much more, but there is so much to do. So if you would like to empower me, it would be great if you could like, subscribe, comment, maybe ask questions. What would you like to have or hear videos about? It's pretty damn hard to make videos in English where I only have a couple of hundred followers. In my native tongue, there are tens of thousands of people who listen to this. So for me, it really is a hard decision to make a video in English instead of making it in Hungarian. So please help me. So if you feel the need to have more videos, then do participate. Do share them. Do show them to friends. Do contact me if you can help in any way, with advice, with questions, with translating the book, whatever, if you would like to participate. So thank you very much, and keep up the good fight, everybody. That's what I always say in my native tongue also. The good fight is about going with the truth of the present moment, and that's the good fight. Not wanting to know, but just doing what is right now. That's the good fight, and we all have to good fight. The only way to traverse the journey, the only way to move fast on this journey is by being brave and going with what we feel right, even though we do not understand and cannot comprehend the consequences of choosing truth in the present moment. Speaking truth and doing the truth is the key to advancing on the hero's journey or the prodigal son's journey. That's what I invite you to do, and keep up the good fight, everybody. Thanks for watching me today.